We are currently experiencing unfavorable weather conditions due to unfavorable wind. A swell of 6 feet makes it unsafe.
Find out what happens on board the Sapphire Princess when we're forced to have a last-minute port cancellation due to weather conditions. Does the crew manage to pull off an interesting day of activities and onboard entertainment, or is it simply a case of sitting around bored all day? Good morning, it is day 4. Welcome to Katákolon. No, scrap that. We actually got very close to Katákolon in Greece this morning, to the point that when I looked out at about 5 to 7 I could see the lights in the distance. Pretty close at that stage to the pier. As I've been there before, I kind of knew the layout of what I was looking at, even though it was still a little bit dark. So got back into bed, went to sleep for another half hour, only to be woken up by the PA system at about 7:35. The captain came over the PA system to announce that although the pilot from Katákolon had come on board, basically it was deemed too dangerous to try and navigate to the pier. So we were on our merry way again, heading to Sicily. So no port today, we're going directly to Sicily. We will be arriving there tomorrow morning. That's already the alternative instead of Malta, which was definitively cancelled yesterday evening. So yeah, here's what it sounded like when the captain broke the news this morning.
We are currently experiencing unfavorable weather conditions due to a low pressure system situated near Sicily and a cold front approaching the west coast of Greece. The present weather, with unfavorable wind from the southeast, east-southeast, and a swell of 6 feet, makes it unsafe to enter Katákolon harbor, which is very confined and very exposed to these southeasterly winds. As the safety of everyone is on board is our priority, and after consultation with the local pilot who boarded the ship, we have decided to cancel our call to Katákolon today. Instead, we will head directly to Catania, and where we anticipate arriving tomorrow early morning. For guests who had booked Princess Shore Excursion, your shipboard folio will be credited automatically, and you do not need to visit the Shore Excursion desk or guest services to receive your refund. We regret any disappointment this change may cause.
In anticipation of either missing the port in Katákolon completely, or alternatively my decision to skip my shore excursion if we did actually make port due to the forecast weather, I decided to order room service breakfast. So as usual with Princess, it is just continental offering. Now I opted, in having a lazy morning and also due to the fact that we had a time change of going an hour ahead, I opted for the delivery slot of 9:30 to 10. So it showed up very promptly at 9:30. So let's check out if the order was accurate. Flakes, check. Danish pastry, check. Yogurt, check. Now on the menu option, basically there is either plain yogurt or fruit yogurt. I specifically wrote in strawberry yogurt, so that's exactly what I got. Fruit plate, check. Just ordered a banana, which just to have in the room for later. Orange juice, it's always the concentrated orange juice. Don't expect that you're going to get freshly squeezed orange juice. Hopefully this is hot chocolate. It is indeed. Now, in terms of ordering cereal, the one thing to bear in mind if you haven't experienced room service before, they never provide milk automatically when you order cereal, so you need to order an extra portion of milk. So looks like everything is there. Time to enjoy that now while watching this rather dull, overcast, slightly rough sea. So a bit of a further update on the sea day situation. Obviously the activities team scrambled quite a bit, or more likely worked during the night in anticipation of the port cancellation. We've got an entirely new Princess pattern this morning, so gone is the one that was left yesterday evening as normal. So the new one, lots of additional activities added for the day. On the original one where we were meant to be in port, there wasn't really a whole lot on there during the day, during the port hours. Now there are various things put back on that you would expect on a sea day. So there's the typical line dance classes, mambo dance class, another art exhibition. Afternoon tea is back on. After the last disaster, I will definitely be giving that one a miss. Champagne hoopla competition. Interesting. I think that was actually already scheduled to be on from what I recall. Other bits and pieces, probably the most interesting is Behind the Seas Meet the Cast. Now that is on in the Princess Theatre at 1 o'clock. Generally when I've experienced these before, it's kind of interactive and there's an opportunity for people to ask the cast questions about their life on board, performing in the shows. So I will probably go to that. Could be quite interesting, and I think it actually replaces the original plan that was just to show a movie at the theatre between 1 and 3. So come with me and see what goes on this impromptu sea day. Looks like there's a little creature out here attempting to hitch a ride on my balcony. Don't think I've ever come across a bird actually landing on the balcony before while at sea. I'm not going to open the door because obviously it'll frighten it away. Any bird enthusiasts, let me know in the comments if you can actually figure out what that is. It's got quite an unusual beak on it. In checking out some of the activities going on around the ship, I found that there were games being organised for guests in the piazza. There was a well-attended line dance class going on in Club Fusion at the back of the ship. There was a new exhibition in the art gallery that was fun to check out, and there was also a well-attended karaoke session. Given the miserable weather conditions today, the pool deck certainly wasn't getting much use, apart from a pretty extensive queue waiting for ice cream. One of the advantages of the Sapphire Princess in inclement weather conditions is the fact that it's actually got an enclosed pool area. Now this is from the upper level. You can see there were some table tennis tables there. Looking down over it, the pool wasn't getting much usage, but the thing that was actually most noticeable in this area is the fact that this ship definitely needs a bit of maintenance. There were lots of leaks coming from the roof, which was really, really surprising. And at the aft of the ship, really, it didn't seem worthwhile having that bar open. There were no patrons. So, based on details that I've seen on the Wendy.com app, which kind of tracks the route of what basically seems to be a storm in the Mediterranean, certainly the route that we now seem to be taking, staying north of that, hence the reason that we're not going to Malta tomorrow, definitely seems to have been a good decision. Despite what sounded like adverse weather conditions in the captain's announcements yesterday evening and this morning, it's actually reasonably good. So it's now 6 p.m. Time for an update on how the rest of this impromptu sea day has gone. It's been grey and overcast, and it's been pouring rain for quite a lot of the time, so that really being outside at all, doing a walk on the promenade deck or whatever, none of that was really feasible. But apart from that, movement on the ship is minimal. It was a bit more evident last night, but today it's been fine, so a lot of activities going on around the ship. I noticed that there were quite a few families participating in a scavenger hunt. Now, incidentally, in mentioning families on board, not typically a Princess thing, particularly kind of spring sailings, but this is the week just before Easter. It's the week leading into Easter. So obviously there are school holidays in certain parts of the world, So I think that's certainly accounting for why there's an increased number of quite young children and teenagers on board. Other activities, there was a very interesting talk, Behind the Seas, in Princess Theatre at lunchtime. So that was essentially the production cast, the singers and dancers. It was hosted by Armanda, the cruise director, and it was really giving an insight into their experiences, how they got to be hired by Princess, how they went through the training process.
Thank you. Welcome everybody, welcome on the stage. Do you guys get to choose what ship are you going, or do you guys get assigned the contract and the ships?
It depends really. If it's your first contract, you're just so grateful for the job offer that you'll go wherever they send you.
How is the install period? Meaning when you arrive, how long does it take to, do you guys start performing? And tell me more about what is behind the scenes, meaning all the outfits, everything that is now has to be tailored for you guys.
Once we come aboard, all the costumes are then fit to us. So they're just like us, like now. There's a cast aboard and they leave and we get on. Their costumes were then obviously fitted to them. We get seamstresses on board and then they fit them to us. Also during install we will block the shows, so you guys can't see, but at the front of the stage here we've got numbers.
Other activities, there were a lot of additional musical performances. One of the things I noticed, I think it was in Crooner's Bar, which is on deck 7, there were several members of the Sapphire Princess Orchestra, so the musicians who back the singers and dancers in the production shows. They were actually doing solo performances. Evening time, my plan for the evening had been to go to the early show. That plan got derailed because when I went to the theatre about 7:20, there was a sign up to say that it was a full house capacity, and the doors were almost fully closed at that stage. Definitely that's first experience on this particular cruise. I suppose it's in part to do with the fact that people have been, you know, kind of sitting around all day. They're wanting more activity after this additional sea day. In this case, going to the later show. Dinner for me, it was one of the walk-in dining rooms. It was the walk-in. There is only one where you can walk in without reservations. Timing wise, it was actually 8 o'clock when I went down, so that was kind of opportune time. There was no delay. It was a case of get a table straight away. Food was fine, nothing terribly exciting on the menu. The service was fine. I was out of there probably in about 50 minutes, which was all good. I did make it in plenty of time to the second of the production show, so that was the one at 9:30. So tonight it was Let Me Entertain You, and really it's kind of a high energy show. It's singing and dancing. There's no storyline. It is literally just the performances. Quite good staging and sets and so on to kind of add to the energy levels. Wide variety of artists covered, so inevitably Let Me Entertain You does start off with Robbie Williams' song Let Me Entertain You, but there were others in there. There was Britney Spears, Gloria Estefan, Lionel Richie, Bruno Mars, and yeah, although it seemed kind of out of place, but it was amusing in itself because it is such a cruise staple. Sweet Caroline made an appearance as well. And that certainly got audience interaction, which was quite amusing to see when you've got a theatre of that size and most people joining in. Also this evening, a silent disco in the Piazza proved popular, and as always the Piazza was also the location for some live music. And at the aft of the ship in Club Fusion, the onboard party band, Radio Sunshine, were also in action. They're actually really good. that is about all that occurred today. In terms of the amount of paperwork that we've gotten, so there's been paperwork coming at all stages of the day. We got details of an additional new shore excursion that's been organised. So that's been put together to, take care of the extra day in Sicily for anybody wanting to do it. And that is, I think it involves a tour of Catania city, then a trip to Mount Etna, to the slopes of Mount Etna, and also wine tasting there. That's available to book, and I think it's actually available to book up until sometime like 8 o'clock in the morning. As well as that, we got the letter from the captain, which he had referred to in his various announcements yesterday and today. So really it just explains what he's already said over the PA system, and again assured people that if they had booked shore excursions through Princess, they will automatically be refunded to their account. It's a certain safeguard if there's likely to be itinerary changes. If you have booked through the cruise line, you get your refund. If you have booked through an independent provider, there may be a cut-off time where you can't cancel. I mean, in my case, I had booked the transfer from Katákolon to Olympia. Now, it was only €12 round trip, so that's not going to break the bank, but the cut-off cancellation point was actually 24 hours beforehand. So, but there could be some people who have booked independent excursions today for Olympia or Malta tomorrow that restrictions in terms of when the cancellation time is, if there's even a cancellation allowed, it could be for much more significant values than that. So it is something to be aware of. It's kind of something that you need to weigh up. I think that's pretty much wrapping it up for this evening. So my plan for tomorrow, sticking with the theme of shore excursions, is I plan to do a DIY trip. Now, the weather is not particularly good. There is a 99% chance of rain throughout the day, so I think we can assume it's going to be pouring rain. I'm still hoping to make it to Taormina. I've been there before in wonderful sunshine. It was about 10 years ago, and I would love to go back. My plan is to get the train. I think it involves a train of about 45 minutes from Catania, and then there's a bus from the train station to Taormina village. So it is doable. It's very cost effective, but whether or not it works out, let's see. You'll have to come back tomorrow and join me for that vlog next time round. Bye for now. As always, thank you so much for watching, and if you want to be informed of when the next episode comes out in this vlog series, please do consider subscribing to the channel. And if you enjoyed this content or found it useful, please hit the like button. It would mean so much. Thank you, and bye for now.